Greetings, this is Charles Darwin, and I'm here to talk to you today about demon viruses. Now, since I'm just talking to my camera right now, I don't think I'm going to need this mask right here, so I'll take it off. But anyway, just when you thought that it was safe to teach science and to think scientifically, my most recent book is called Scientifically Thinking, and I recommend that you would read it. Anyway, just when you thought it was safe to teach science, along come the creationist fundamentalists. And this is nothing new. For instance, back in the 1970s and 1980s, there were the creationists who devoted their energies to the opposition of teaching evolution. But if you didn't teach evolution, then you didn't need to worry about that. Then, more recently, in the 90s and 2000s, came along the creationist opposition to teaching about global warming. But if you don't teach about global warming, then you didn't have to worry about that. And then, more recently, there was the Tucker Carlson spot in which he said that the metric system is a plot that has been invented by the liberals to try to squash the American way of thinking, or something like that. I'll let you Google for that and see it for yourself. And so if you teach a science lab in which you use centimeters and milliliters and grams, and things like that, then you might need to worry about attacks from the political right. But maybe if you don't teach science lab, you can get away with not worrying about the fundamentalists. But more recently, they have attacked medical science. And they claim that the coronavirus is a plot that has been invented to embarrass Donald Trump. And that's why so many of them will refuse to use face masks, because they don't really believe that the virus exists, or that if it does, it isn't really the cause of any serious problem. I first wrote in my blog in 2012, this is my blog, honestdab.blogspot.com. I first wrote in 2012 about the healings of Jesus. And I went through and read all 4 Gospels, and I kept an account of the healings that Jesus did. And many times there are parallel accounts of the same healing in the 4 Gospels, or in more than one of them anyway. And so I kept track of those in different columns. And you can find all of the data in the blog entry that I have for Honest Ab for today, July 15th, 2020. And what I found is that if you take into account parallel accounts, then 7 of the 24 healings, that is 29%, were directly attributed to demons. Now, suppose that you count them, instead of parallel accounts, you count them as independent accounts, then there were 46 of them, of which 14 were clearly identified as casting out of demons, and that's 30%. The conclusion, either way, is that from a fundamentalist point of view, about 1/3 of all diseases are caused by demons, or at least cases of disease. Now, for any one particular disease, the Bible does not demand that you say it is caused by a demon. But 1/3 of them, overall, would be. So what does this mean? Well, this means that, from a creationist point of view, medical schools ought to have at least 1 course in demonology and exorcism. And also undergraduate courses. I teach at a largely undergraduate institution. Many of my students are pre-med. I should teach them at least a little bit about demonology and exorcism. And they should be ready for that, because when they go out there and work in the medical field, at least 1/3 of the cases will be caused by demons. And they should be ready to at least look for that. Now, we don't find any evidence of demons causing disease today. Why is that? Well, the fundamentalists would claim that that's because the demons are pretending to be viruses. Well, how do you test that? Of course, the Bible doesn't say anything about demons pretending to be viruses. They just made that up. But they have a new reason now. Demons pretend to be coronaviruses because they want to make Donald Trump look bad. Well, just when you thought that it was safe to teach science, along comes the new attack on the science of the coronavirus pandemic. just when you thought you'd seen everything. This is Charles Darwin telling you, and amen.